Beard Wizard family, welcome back to the show. I clicked the button a little early, but this is a live show. But welcome back to the 12 Days of Beermas. I'm your host, Beard Wizard Man, also known as Trevor on social media. Links of which you're going to find in the video description below, including ways to support this channel, like clicking that red subscribe button and joining the Beard Wizard family. This is our double feature day because I got behind a day. And double feature days are a tough one because a lot of these beers are strong. And I also drink other beers sometimes throughout the weekend. And yeah, so we're going to do this day. What are we on? Day 9? Day 9. The 12 day, right? We're on day 9. Good grief. No, we're on day 10. Good grief. We're almost to the end of the road, boys and girls. Anyway, before we jump into this stream, please do click that red subscribe button and join the Beard Wizard family. We are shooting for 5,000 subscribers as soon as we can. 4,500 by the end of the year would be fantastic, but if we can get to 5,000 soon so that we can shoot for our next goal of 7,500, that would be fantastic. So before we jump into this, what is the 12 Days of Beermas? Well, it's a beer review where I take a 12 Days of Christmas box set from Kalia Brewing, which is a German imported beers from small craft and private German breweries, and pit it against 12 hand-selected small craft breweries from the United States and see which one comes out. Now, Germany is winning hands down. The United States has only put up one day where they won. And what can I say? The Germans know how to make beer. I may be a little biased. My last name is Biersbach. But honestly, the United States breweries have a tendency to overthink things, to put too much hops in things, to make things taste like IPAs, to put too many goofy flavors in stuff. And it's all fine and good if you like that, but when you're looking for just a traditional, clean tasting, solid beer, chances are that's not going to hit the mark for you. So I just realized my hat is a little crooked. That's better. Anyway, so also I like to make this as informational as possible. So we're going to talk about the breweries. We're going to talk about the beer styles before we do the tasting and see who wins for day 10. So up first from Germany, let me pull this up so I can see what I'm doing here. Up first from Germany is from the Wieninger brewery is their I'm not even sure if you pronounce that Gmoastier, but it's their Weizenbock. I was kind of surprised when I poured the Weizenbock. It's very light. It is a 7.1%, so it's a little bit higher alcohol than most, which is surprising because it is a very light colored beer. Weininger has been around for 350 years. That's the thing with these German breweries. They've been around a long time. They've had a long time to master their craft. Looking for, I think it said 7 generations have been running this brewery in the region of, their website's been redesigned since last year too. I just had it. Their website's got all these little blocks of Tiesendorf. They've been in Tiesendorf for 7 generations. 350 years of brewing experience, it says. So, and a Weizenbock is a German style wheat version of a German style Bock, or a bigger, beefier Dunkelweizen, which is strange because a Dunkelweizen is usually very dark, and this beer is very light in color. It's unusual. Malt and melanoidins and Weizen ale yeast are the star ingredients. If served with yeast, the appearance may appropriately be very cloudy, with flavors of bready malt, dark fruits like plum, raisin, and grape, is the description. That is a typical Weizenbock. This one does not have any variations listed, but again, it's a very light beer in comparison to other Weizenbocks I've had. Now up to up in the United States, we have Noon Whistle's Bruski, which is a traditional lager. A lager is, I mean, your typical beer. Most beers that you're used to seeing are either a Pilsner or a lager. Lagers are a little bit heavier and darker than a Pilsner, but usually still very golden colored and clear, light, should be very fresh tasting, effervescent. They should be very clean. This one is darker than expected. So this is going to be an interesting day because we have a very light Weizenbock, which should be a pretty dark beer. And we have a relatively dark lager. So we'll see which one wins out between the two. All right, so we are going to start with Germany first. Another new Stein for me this year. If you've been following the last couple of years, this one has a very beautiful blue. This very cool dark blue color. Also a pretzel handle. It's a very pretty Stein that I picked up this year at one of the craft shows that we do. There's an older couple that sells old Steins, and they are from Germany. I look very carefully. One of the things, if you're collecting Steins, look at the bottom. If it says Avon on the bottom, don't buy it. Make sure it says Germany, Deutschland, Austria, Bavaria, something on the bottom. And you're generally going to pay a little more for those. Just make sure it doesn't say Avon on the bottom. So anyway, our Dunkelweiss or our Weizenbock is first. Prost. It's very sweet, like sweeter than I expected. It's not dark. It's not as rich as I would expect out of a Bock. It's got that smooth wheat Weizen flavor. The Stein's a little narrow. For somebody with glasses, the Stein is a little narrow. The lid is hitting my glasses. That's pretty decent. I wouldn't say I love it though. It's got a really rich flavor. It's pretty smooth, but for a Weizenbock, I'm expecting something a little richer and heavier and darker. And that's really not very dark. Surprisingly different. So the US has a shot today. Well, let's see. Now, I'm not used to seeing a lager that dark, but they can be. Lagers can be very clear, golden color. They can be kind of amber. They can be a little darker. This is Noon Whistle's traditional lager called Bruski. Let's give it a shot. And what was I didn't see, what was the alcohol content on this one? Because that one's 7. That one's going to be, I don't think this has it on here. Oh, there we go. 4.6, a very light ABV. Cheers. It's got an extremely traditional, I mean, it is a traditional lager. It reminds me a lot of, say, an old school lager like Stroh's or even like a Stag, like a really old school traditional beer. It's got a good flavor to it. I actually kind of like that. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't taste as like sometimes traditional American beers, like a traditional Pilsner and lager can taste very kind of stale, can taste kind of weak. That's actually really good. Man, this is a tough one today. And I think just like yesterday, I think what is going to knock one of them off is because it doesn't meet the expected flavor profile of the beer it touts to be. I think I'm going to have to give it to the U.S. today, to Noon Whistle's Bruski, only because now I like both beers. Both of them taste really good. And if this Weizenbock was called anything else, if it was just called a Hefeweizen or maybe even just a Helles, it would win. But it's called a Weizenbock, which should be a darker, heavier beer, and it's not. It doesn't really meet the expected flavor profile of a Weizenbock. So I think the U.S. is going to get a point today. Not that it's going to help them win, but it's going to push them a little bit closer to not a total shutout with the 12 days of Beermas. So yeah, the U.S. takes it again with Noon Whistle's Bruski. Takes it again. Takes it this time with the Noon Whistle's Bruski. Be sure to come back for more. I will have 2 more. We have tomorrow and Christmas Eve for the last 2 days of the 12 days of Beermas to see who comes out on top. See if the U.S. redeems itself and at least scores 1 or 2 more points into the holiday. I will also have more game streams, more music streams coming next week. And I'm off for many days after Tuesday afternoon. So I will see you guys with a lot of new content over the holiday. Thank you. Whoever joined, thank you for being here. I will see you guys all again soon. You have a great one. Much love.